This next comic, he is the creator and host of a comedy game show that you can watch on YouTube. All the way from Toronto, Canada. Put your hands together right now, Asheville. Give him a warm welcome. My man, Dan Donnelly.
Thank you, you're too kind. I was told you guys stopped segregating theaters down here, but I see no evidence of that right now at all. It's like the cast of Twilight out there, except vampires don't age. I am from Canada, or as you guys may know it, the future state of West Greenland. I prepared that joke before I knew that was going to happen. But my secret shame is I am actually originally American. I've lived in Canada for a long time. That's why I'm here right now and not in a detention facility at the border waiting to be deported to El Salvador. I'm kidding, guys, of course. I'm white. That wasn't gonna happen to me. But I did actually recently become a Canadian citizen a couple months ago. Thank you. A fun thing that happens when you become a Canadian citizen is you have to swear an oath of loyalty to the king and his heirs and successors, much like when you guys become senators. And a funny thing is that even though he has been stripped of his title, technically, legally, Prince Andrew is still an heir and successor to King Charles III. So I just have to tell you guys that I am obligated as a new Canadian to inform you that Prince Andrew did nothing wrong. Another thing about immigrating to Canada is Canadians are really into cultural accommodation of new immigrants, which I think is really nice. As an American, they decided that they would make me feel comfortable by having the worst school shooting in 20 years, which I thought was maybe a little overboard. You could tell it was a Canadian school shooting, though, because we had trans representation, which was nice. No, honestly, it's not our strong point, and I think that really Canada shouldn't try to compete with America in its specialties. Like, you guys are going to the moon right now, which is great. It's part of your larger project of turning back the clock 60 years. And you know, we've had a Canadian astronaut. His name was Chris Hadfield. He took a guitar to the International Space Station and became the most famous musician in space. And it just caused this rivalry, you know, because then you guys had to send Katy Perry to space. And then Justin Trudeau had to fuck Katy Perry. And then Donald Trump had to fuck the entire post-war international order. It just keeps escalating, you know. We do a school shooting, you blow up a girls' school in Tehran. We need to stop the cycle, I think. We'll let you guys stick to your strengths, gunning down school children and going to space and endless wars in the Middle East. We'll just keep doing our stuff, giving people health care, being slightly less racist to our immigrants. It'll be good. I do have some unfortunate personal news to announce, which is that recently my longtime partner left me to move to Vancouver. If you guys aren't familiar with Vancouver, that's where they've been keeping Hollywood since about 2005. And no, it was tough. It was really hard. It's hard when you've been with somebody for a long time and they leave you, because everything in your shared environment reminds you of them. You know, it really leaves this gaping hole in the middle of your life. Well, two, obviously, but one of them you can't fill with stranger dick. At least not one at a time. No, it was really hard. I was really upset. Guys, I was so upset that I wrote a poem, in case the previous joke did not make it clear that I'm a homosexual. But it was hard, but I have to say, I gotta give him credit. I'm a little surprised that it took him that long to leave me because I was not an ideal partner by any means. Just to give you guys an example, the first time he and I had sex, I gave him syphilis. To put this another way, the first time he ever had sex, guys, don't do this. Wear a condom if you're having sex with me, apparently. No, I honestly, I don't know how it happened. I am usually incredibly careful. I had just been tested. I swear it must have been a toilet seat. That's what he asked me to call him anyway. No, it's tough. Syphilis is really no joke. Make sure you get checked. If they don't catch it for a while, and they didn't catch it immediately because I went to a walk-in clinic, if they don't catch it, you get really sick. You're tired all the time. You can't do anything. You know, actually, they used to call syphilis the French disease because you can do nothing but lie down and surrender. As opposed to the American disease, which is apparently, based on your television, cured by a weekly shot of Mounjaro and a lot of catheters. I don't know why. Why do you guys need so many catheters? Yeah, it's not great. Do you guys know how they cure syphilis, by the way? Any syph heads in the audience? Sounds like yes. Is that? So here's what happens. You go into public health. Well, I go into public health. I don't know what you guys do, but apparently I would imagine it involves $10,000 of medical debt. You go into public health, you sign your name on the register, you wait in the waiting room. After a while, a very imposing male nurse comes to that door to the back, gives you one of these. So you go up to him and he takes you by the arm a little too firmly and leads you down the hallway into the exam room, closes the door behind you, locks it for some reason, takes you over to the bench, bends you down, takes down your pants, whips out these huge 8-inch needles, the size of this microphone, and one after the other, thrusts them into your ass, pumps in like a liter of thick white fluid, which is exactly how I got syphilis, so I don't know. I think it was the same nurse, actually. Toilet seat, if you remember. He doesn't go by that professionally, obviously, just on FetLife. So all that to say is that I'm on the market again. No, which is a lot easier now that I'm older. When I was a young person in my teens and early 20s, I could not get laid to save my life. Where was Kevin Spacey when you needed him? No, I grew up in LA. It's not a big ask. He didn't even have to fly. But it turned out I learned getting older that this was not so much about me as a person, so much as the kind of guys I was interested in. Because let's just say that pretty 20-year-old gay boys aren't really interested in a boyfriend their own age so much as they're looking for a dad who isn't just a little disappointed their high school sport was drama club. So it turned out all I had to do was age badly and grow a beard, and then all of a sudden I was having the most sex of my life. It's crazy, this daddy thing really works. I highly recommend it. Ladies, if you're into younger men, grow the beard, it'll change your life, I promise. No joke, I have 3 boys waiting for me right now to pick them up from hockey practice. It's gonna be fun, we're gonna practice slipping one in through the 5-hole. Sorry, hockey jokes are legally mandated where I'm from. For those of you who don't know, because I didn't until I had to write this joke, the 5-hole is the gap in between the goalie's legs. So it's nice to be able to put a name to a place where you've spent so much time. No, it's tough. Yeah, so when I was younger, like really, since nobody was interested, my only option was porn. But I'm of an age where, of course, I was watching porn online before you could watch porn online. You had to look at porn online, right? You would log in with your 28.8K dial-up modem, and a single JPEG would take 20 minutes to download. Laugh of recognition. And of course, it would always start from the top, which was not the part you wanted to see. So you had to come up with something else to do while you're waiting for this picture to download. So you would like open up a different browser program because they didn't even have tabbed browsing back then. And you would like read the latest chapter of the Harry Potter fan fiction you were following. And then by the time you were done with that, you'd already come. So what was the point of the porn? I don't know. It was hard to find back then, too, because there was no Google yet. You would have to, like, ask Jeeves for butts and then kind of hope for the best. And then, of course, whenever you found something, that's where you were going for life, right? Post-SovietTwinks.com, forever, teaching these boys the virtues of capitalism the hard way. Let's be honest, the semi-soft way, they weren't really into it. It was what it was. But now it's disconcerting, right? Everything is like algorithm-based. Everything knows you better than you know yourself. Has anybody ever had the experience of coming across a fetish online you weren't previously aware you had? Yes? No, it's very distressing, right? Because you're going along watching whatever your normal thing is, and then all of a sudden your new kink pops up. And I'm not going to kink shame you, but please do not come up to me after the show and tell me what it is. Unless you're cute and you like to get slapped in the face, then we'll talk. All of a sudden, your new kink pops up. You're shocked. You're disgusted. You close the tab. You're breathing heavily. Your heart is pounding. But so is your dick. So Control-Shift-T, you bring that tab back up. Miracle of the modern internet. And you watch the rest of that video, and maybe you watch it a couple more times, and then you start seeking out other videos like it, and then slowly but surely you start working it into your real-life sex life, until all of a sudden, 6 months later, you can't come without blowing up a girls' school in Tehran. It's a very difficult situation to be in. All right, thanks, guys. I've been Dan Donnelly. Thanks so much for having me.